The year is 1995. You wake up, turn on the TV, and you start watching Rugrats. And you're just happy watching Angelica be the oldest, meanest, cousin. And Tommy is there fighting with her. And Chucky, Tommy's best friend, and Phil and Lil, they're just hammering, fighting, and trying to defeat the Reptar Cookie Monster. Or they're trying to fight the Dust Bunnies and all this stuff. And then you realize, yo, these babies are part of Angelica's imagination. And Angelica dies of a drug overdose. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Rugrats conspiracy theory on today's episode of Spooky Scary Times. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit the notification, turn off the lights, go grab some water, and let's talk spooky stuff. You can grab coffee too, or a soda, or whatever you drink when you watch YouTube videos. There's really nothing to say that cannot be said about the 90s and the glorious Nickelodeon 90s, where we had amazing TV shows like Rugrats, Hey Arnold, Cat Dog, Keenan and Kel, all of that, Are You Afraid of the Dark, and the list goes on. The Amanda Show, which was probably one of my all-time favorite TV shows, and Amanda Bynes was my celebrity crush for many years until she lost her mind and started doing crazy stuff, and now I don't know where she is. But if you're single, now, the Rugrats conspiracy theory comes from creepypastas, okay? That's where I read it. That's where I heard it from many years ago. I don't know who the actual original writer. I've been looking for who it was, but I couldn't really find it because many people have copied and pasted or shared it. But I will share it with y'all and we'll talk about it, and we're gonna just be creeped out and ruin our childhoods forever together. So let's do this. Now, the crazy thing about this creepypasta is that all the babies that you know from the Rugrats are dead babies, and they're part of Angelica's imagination. And let me tell you why. Number one is that Chucky died at childbirth with his mom, and this is why Chaz is a nervous wreck. This is why he has really bad anxiety, maybe PTSD from seeing his wife die and his child died, and he has depression for sure because what he went through was horrible. And then we have Tommy, which is probably the hero of the Rugrats, and he was a stillborn, dying in his mom's belly. And Stu, which is the father, he's the one that's always creating the toys and building all the toys and doing all this fun stuff with toys and making toys and creating toys. And and if you watch the Rugrats in Paris movie, he goes and does the Reptar, the big Reptar robot. He's doing that because he's still in denial that his child is dead, and he's trying to get, I guess he's coping with the death of the child, actually. I don't know, but it's a horrible thing to think about. Just the emotional, mental stress that these parents are going through. Now, the DeVilles, Phil and Lil's parents, they had an abortion. Since Angelica didn't know the gender of Phil and Lil, she created twins. She created Phil and Lil because, she didn't know what gender it was. She's like, let me just create two babies in my imagination. Hence, all these kids, all these babies are dead. They're dead. They're not real. And Angelica creates them in her imagination. The only two babies that are real is Dill, which unfortunately she beat to a point of brain hemorrhage because she thought that it was an imaginary baby, and she told all the other babies to disappear, and Dill didn't. So she's like, why aren't you leaving? Blah, 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 blah. And then the parents came, they're like, what the hell are you doing? That's my child. And she's like, oh my God, what did I do? And Dill stayed not okay for the rest of the remainder of the series. And the only other baby that is real is Susie. She has the yellow dress, the ponytails, I think pigtails, and she's a black girl, black little girl, and she's the only one that's real. And the conspiracy has it is that she knew of Angelica and her situation and what happened, and she's the one that went to Nickelodeon and pitched this story of Angelica and the babies and call it Rugrats, and Nickelodeon was like, yeah, let us get that story together. And not until years later, the conspiracy of Angelica came out, and they're like, oh, this is the real story behind Rugrats, which is kind of creepy. This is all true. Now, you think the conspiracy ends there, where it doesn't. It gets worse. It gets much creepier. It gets so much more sad. Angelica was a crack baby because her real mom was a crackhead. She was a drug addict, and we never see her because Angelica's dad remarries to this very, I guess, rich, very controlling mother, possessive mother, or wife, stepmom, Angelica's stepmom, and Angelica's real mom died of a drug overdose. But the crazy thing is that for the whole series, from I think, I don't remember if all grown up you see the doll Cynthia. Now Cynthia looks like a crackhead. Let me tell you something. Conspiracy has it, story has it, legend has it that Cynthia is what looks like Angelica's real mother. And this is why Angelica's so attached to this baby, because she sees her mother. This is her mother, spinning image of her mother, with the hair missing and and the dress looks all flimsy and nasty, and her skin looks like it's deteriorating. Yeah, her mom was a crackhead, and because of that, Angelica was born. You know, she met the father, which if you really ask, what the hell was the father doing with a crackhead as a wife? I don't know. But Angelica was born, and then she was a crack baby, meaning if you don't know anything about crack babies, is that they have crack in the blood. So they're kind of addicts to crack once they're born. Let us do some quick research. Okay, so I was wrong. A crack baby is a baby who is not strong and healthy at birth and whose mother used crack cocaine while she was pregnant. A sign of a newborn drug withdrawal depends. Yo, I'm literally reading about crack babies, and yo, crack babies can actually experience withdrawals of the drugs because they're not consuming the drugs anymore. So that means they have drugs in their system. This is crazy. This probably explains why Angelica's so always agitated and mad and hurt and bitter, because she's probably going through withdrawals. I mean, maybe not because she's 3 years old in the TV series, but probably she's still craving crack. What the fuck? Doing some research is really, oh my God, I'm out. This conspiracy theory got so much more dark. It got really dark. So I'm sorry if I ruined your life. So Angelica was a crack baby. That is interesting. So not only is Angelica a crack baby, okay, she's obsessed with the Cynthia doll because that's how her real mom looked like. She has a mom that's controlling, a stepmom that's controlling, and it's very possessive and demanding. She has her dad that kind of does whatever the heck Angelica wants and does whatever his wife does or wants. And then there's, oh my God, this gets interesting. And then all the babies are dead. So she has no friends. She beats up Dill. She has Susie, which is probably her other friend, but they don't see each other that much because they're not family. And then she has these imaginary babies. And then the fact that Angelica got older, and then we have the All Grown Up series, which is a TV spin-off of the Rugrats with her grown up, and they're probably in their teens, they're 13, 14 years old. And then, if I'm not mistaken, and the crazy thing about this series is that, or this timeline, is that once Angelica got older, she couldn't really channel the babies or summon the babies, so she had to do crack cocaine, she had to do drugs to make the babies appear again and generate the babies in her imagination again. This is freaking dark. And the crazy thing is that she would be talking, interacting with these babies, and everybody would be like, what the hell are you talking about? And Angelica was kind of the laughing stock at the school, and everybody was like, why is she talking to herself? She was always high, she was always looking weird, she was on crack, she was literally going the same footsteps as her mom. And unfortunately, Angelica's life ends as a drug overdose in the back of the cafeteria as all the babies around her just watch her die in an overdose. And then Susie hears about the story, takes it to Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon creates the Rugrats. I might have ruined your life like I ruined mine a couple of years ago, but this is such an amazing storytelling aspect of taking perspective of what was the Rugrats and saying like, hey, let's make Angelica a crackhead and the babies are just her imagination and they're dead. This is a very sad, dark, scary story. I won't say it's like scary, like all this weird stuff, but it's just scary as like, it could be happening. This could be real. Oh my God, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this conspiracy theory. I might have a couple of more conspiracy theories coming out throughout the weeks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment down below if you really enjoyed this and what was your favorite crazy part. If you want me to talk about maybe some other spooky conspiracy theories, write them down below. I love you guys. Don't forget to tell your friends about the YouTube channel. Let's try to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. More spooky stuff is coming. I need to go get some water, maybe even go run off the anxiety of telling this story, because this story is just, God, it's heavy. It's really heavy. So sorry that I ruined your childhood. Sorry that I ruined Rugrats for y'all. And whatever you do, pray before you go to sleep. Bye.